Racial discrimination is defined by the United Nations as any distinction, exclusion, restriction, or preference based on race, color, descent, or national or ethnic origin, which has the purpose or effect of nullifying or impairing the recognition, enjoyment, or exercise on an equal footing of human rights and fundamental freedoms in the political, economic, social, cultural, or any other field of public life. Most states have a history of racial discrimination and prejudice of some kind. Since the late 20th century, the notion of biological race has been recognized as a cultural invention entirely without scientific basis. Following Germany's defeat in World War I, that country's deeply ingrained anti-Semitism was successfully exploited by the Nazi Party, which seized power in 1933 and implemented policies of systematic discrimination, persecution, and eventual mass murder of Jews in Germany and in the territories occupied by the country during World War II, or the Holocaust. In North America and apartheid era, South Africa, racism dictated that different races, chiefly blacks and whites, should be segregated from one another, that they should have their own distinct communities and develop their own institutions such as churches, schools, and hospitals, and that it was unnatural for members of different races to marry. Historically, those who openly professed or practiced racism held that members of low-status races should be limited to low-status jobs and that members of the dominant race should have exclusive access to political power, economic resources, high-status jobs, and unrestricted civil rights. The lived experience of racism for members of low-status races includes acts of physical violence, daily insults, frequent acts and verbal expressions of contempt and disrespect, all of which have profound effects on self-esteem and social relationships. It also affects a racial group's ability to find work, get access to healthcare, and receive an equal education. Racial discrimination's tendency has persisted well into the 21st century because in the popular mind, race is linked to physical difference among people, and such features as dark skin color have been seen as markers of low status. Some experts believe that racism may be difficult to eradicate. Indeed, minds cannot be changed by laws, but beliefs about human differences can and do change, as do all cultural elements.